Welcome back to Predicting the NFL with Mickey G. This is sadly, unfortunately, our last game of the season, but fortunately, it is in fact the Super Bowl. So, the season's all been riding up to this, and now we're here, and it should be a really good game. Whether or not you're a hater of either team or individuals on each team, things like that, the last time these two teams played in the Super Bowl, it was a great game. And that should be the case again tonight. So I'm excited for the game no matter what. But that's not to say we don't have agendas to push. We don't have our thoughts. We don't have our predictions. But before we move into that direction, let's talk about how we did last week. Last week we had the conference championship games. And I went 1-1. Okay? Probably should have gone 2-0. I should have picked the Chiefs. But agendas were being pushed. And I wanted that Josh Allen Super Bowl appearance. We didn't get it, unfortunately, but that now means I have a greater chance of winning like $100 off the Chiefs Super Bowl victory because of bets placed before the playoffs and as soon as the season ended last year. Jersey team lost, and the pick was correct. I picked the Eagles. I was wearing the Santana Moss jersey, so there's that. But overall, for the playoffs, I'm 500. I am 6-6. Chance to go 7-6. Chance to go above 500. Which would be great for my overall playoff record, which is not great. On the season now, we are 181 and 103. And Jersey teams are now 11 and 10, and my Jersey picks are also now 11 and 10, and the rest of it stays the same. 8 and 10 games a week, 5 and 13 upsets, 6 and 12 in the crap fest. Speaking of Jersey games, as you can see, I'm not wearing a jersey. I could have worn the Vic again, but I just wore Vic like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I could just wear a random jersey, but, we're gonna let it relax here, okay? I don't have a Chiefs jersey, or I would have probably worn that. But we're just going no jersey today. And plus, it's a nice sweater. I got this for Christmas, and it looks really cool. So I just, maybe show off that a little bit. Now, all time in championship weekends, I am 2-8. So historically, pretty bad there. Pretty bad. That was the only week that we've done the Jersey game there before. And next we have the Super Bowl, which we historically are 1-3 are not great. A lot of those years have been me picking against the Patriots, which has not been very successful in my predictions of that. So that hurts a little bit. But we don't have the Patriots there, and so we have the Chiefs and the Eagles. 971 and 637 now all time, and Jersey teams are now 22 and 19, and my picks are 17 and 22. So closing that gap a little bit there. An exciting stat though is the Eagles all time in Jersey games are completely undefeated, 6-0. They have yet to lose a game in a Jersey game before. Last week, Chiefs, Bills, really good game, down to the wire. And what decided the game was the supporting cast. The Chiefs defense came up clutch, and thanks in part a lot to the defensive play calling of Spagnuolo. The coaching is definitely on the side of Kansas City there, and I think the supporting cast is there as well, especially defensively. Their defense is pretty solid. A lot of the receivers for Kansas City leave a little bit to be desired, but compared to Buffalo, they're not significantly worse. But I think the coaching is the big part of the reasoning for the Chiefs being able to win that one. I think if the Bills had a better roster, they could have maybe won that game, but they don't. And that's why the Chiefs won it. Eagles, on the other hand, they're going up against a rookie quarterback, and Saquon just could not be stopped. There's a reason I was saying he should be MVP. Ended up getting Offensive Player of the Year. Also, shout out Josh Allen getting the MVP. If it was going to be quarterback, I thought it should be him. And that's who it ended up being, so I'm glad the voters agreed. I think it's enough talking about last week. It's time to talk about this week. It's the Super Bowl. No more messing around. It's the big game. Okay, there's a couple things I'm excited for in this game, and actually one of them that's not even in this game. There's going to be a new Superman trailer during the Puppy Bowl. So I'm definitely excited for that to end up on Twitter. I don't think I'm going to be tuning into the Puppy Bowl. Usually I'm more of a Kitten Bowl guy. But maybe I'll take a peek in just to see if I can see it. Shout out Crypto the Super Dog, which is the reasoning behind the it being in the Super Bowl or in the Puppy Bowl. The Eagles' defense has been playing phenomenally. All season, all playoffs, they've been great. Saquon's been playing great. The receiver's been playing great. Goddard's been playing great. Really, the only spot on that field for the Eagles that has been consistently not doing what's expected of him has been Jalen Hurts. And we all know that the quarterback position is the most important and valuable position in football. But the Eagles have been able to do all this even with lackluster QB play from Hurts. Chiefs, on the other hand, are kind of in an opposite situation. They have Kelsey, yes, but there's been a few games when he's been almost invisible. D-Hop hasn't really done anything in the playoffs. Worthy had a nice game the last week. He was doing decent. But none of those guys are on the level of A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Saquon Barkley. And Goddard, honestly, has been just as productive as Kelsey's been for this Eagles team. But Mahomes has been significantly better than Hurts. The coaching is another interesting thing. I've seen plenty of Eagles fans complain about Sirianni all year long. I've seen plenty of praise for Spagnuolo all year long. Yes, he's the DC. Yes, Sirianni's the head coach. Andy Reid, obviously, is a great coach. Their OC was a little bit desired for Kansas City, I won't lie. But Reid's the one making the calls. Chris Jones and some of the other defensive players, I mean, they're great for KC. But it's that overall team for Philly that I think is better. But there's Patrick Mahomes. There's the inevitability of the Chiefs. There's the three-peat looming over top of this game. Start of the three-peat, that was the Eagles. These teams have played before in this game, and I think it's going to go the same way. I think it's going to be a close game. I think there's going to be a hard-to-fought battle. I think Saquon's going to put up numbers. I think he's going to have a solid game. But I think when it matters most, the ball's going to be in Hurts' hands, and he might fumble it away. I think the Chiefs will capitalize on those Eagles' mistakes. They're going to minimize their own, and they're going to come out victorious here. I think it's what's happening. It's what I thought's going to happen really all season. Yes, I picked the Bills to beat them. Yes, I had the Bills as my Super Bowl favorite. But in reality, always thought the Chiefs were going to be there. Always thought the Chiefs were going to be there. Last year's Super Bowl ended, and I placed a bet for Kansas City to punch their ticket to Super Bowl victory. And that's not changing now. Chiefs are winning this one. It's inevitable. Get it out of your system now. The complaining, the crying, the refs. Don't let the game get to a point where the refs can decide it. If you win the game, if you are heavily ahead the whole time, if you're beating them down, if you're the better team, then you can don't let the refs even have a chance at changing the game. If you want to talk about rigged sports, go look at the NBA. How was Luka Doncic a Laker? That's what we need to look at. That's the thing that's actually questionable. But that's my picks for this week. I got the Chiefs winning. Maybe orange Gatorade for the victory. It's a little joke there. But also, recently that came out here from the Mickey G Productions. Had a video made back in 2020 for a class. It never released for some reason. I don't know. I watched it a couple months ago. I'm like, oh, this is funny. But I wanted to save it for when to post or whatever. And then we had the Pro Bowl week. No one cared about the Pro Bowl, so I posted it then. Go check it out. It hasn't gotten a ton of viewership as much as I expected, at least. And it's high quality stuff. I mean, the reviews are in. They're in the comment section, and they say it's a banger. So I'd recommend checking that out and prepare yourselves mentally for that Chiefs Super Bowl victory and the three-peat and potentially a four-peat next year. Just lock it in. was beating him. All right, that's all for this week. That's all for the Super Bowl. I will be coming back with more stuff, off-season stuff probably on this channel, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the season, and hopefully I get my prediction correct.